Would They Still Love You If You Couldn't Fly? By K. Paul Stoller. Last night, I had one of those dreams that stays with you long after you've awakened. In the dream, I possessed a superpower. I could fly, not like Superman, not across continents, maybe 35 miles an hour tops, fast enough to rise above the ground, fast enough to see the world from a different perspective. But there was something curious. I didn't want anyone to know. As I was gliding about 10 feet above a road, two young women on a scooter noticed me. One pulled out her phone and started filming. Then she shouted, "What are you planning to do with your superpower?" Without even thinking, I answered, "Remain hidden." When I woke up, I couldn't stop thinking about that answer. Why would anyone want to hide something so extraordinary? And how to do so when 35 mph is your top speed? I think I finally understand. Perhaps because once people know you can fly, you never really know why they're coming toward you. Do they want to know you, or do they simply want to experience your gift? That question isn't really about flying. It's about life. Most of us don't possess supernatural abilities, but almost everyone possesses something that attracts attention. Beauty, money, status, intelligence, success, talent, influence, the ability to heal, the ability to solve problems, the ability to make other people's lives easier. Those are our modern superpowers, and they all create the same question. Would you still want to know me? If I didn't have this, the dream continued. I met one of the women who had seen me flying. She wasn't what magazines would call beautiful. Dark hair, olive skin. She hadn't shaved her legs. Nothing about her appearance stood out. We began talking. She told me she had done several different jobs over the years. One of them was massage therapy. I asked, "Would you mind working on my trapezius muscles?" Then I added, "And my rhomboids." At exactly the same instant, she smiled and said, "Rhomboids." Another woman laughed. Jinx. And something happened inside me. I was suddenly flooded with warmth toward her. Not because of how she looked, not because she admired my ability to fly, but because, for one brief moment, our minds met. That's when I realized something. The flying wasn't what moved me. The synchrony did. The superpower attracted attention. The shared thought created connection. How much of modern life is spent trying to become impressive? We chase degrees, money, recognition, followers, titles, professional success, because those things attract people, and they do. But attracting people is not the same as being known. Admiration is not intimacy. Being useful is not the same as being loved. Every successful person eventually asks a similar question. The wealthy man wonders, would she still be here if I lost everything? The beautiful woman wonders, does anyone actually see me? The famous actor wonders, who would call if nobody recognized my face? The physician wonders, do people value me or only what I can do for them? The overgiver wonders, would this relationship survive if I stopped rescuing everyone? Those questions become even more important as we grow older, because eventually every superpower fades, beauty fades, strength fades, careers end, titles disappear, the applause becomes quieter. Sooner or later, life folds our wings for us. And then one question remains. Who stayed? Maybe real love has very little to do with admiration. Maybe it begins the moment someone stops being fascinated by our gifts and becomes curious about us. Not what we accomplish, not what we provide, not what we fix, simply who we are. The older I become, the less interested I am in impressing people. I've learned that admiration has a surprisingly short half-life. Being understood lasts much longer. Perhaps that's why the smallest moment in my dream carried the greatest emotional weight. It wasn't flying, it wasn't the superpower, it wasn't being noticed, it was sharing one word. Rhomboids. For one brief moment, someone wasn't responding to what I could do. She was simply meeting me where I was. And perhaps that's what every human being is quietly searching for. Not someone captivated by our superpowers, but someone who would still enjoy walking beside us. after we've quietly folded our wings.